I'm recording. I'm not waiting for anyone. All right, everyone, welcome. We have some of Kelly's team with us tonight as well. So welcome, everyone. If you don't know who I am, my name is Colleen Devine. I am a Diamond coach on the FitBoss team as well. Kelly and I actually started on the same day. So we've been working this business somewhat together ever since. So welcome to this call. This call tonight, we're going to cover Challenge Groups 101, because I think at a certain point, all of us think to ourselves, what the hell am I doing? Why am I not getting any engagement? What can I be doing different? What's she doing in her group that I'm not doing in my group? Like, we've all questioned ourselves along the way. Am I doing enough, right? Like, we've all questioned ourselves. We've all had shitty groups. And we've all had really rocking groups, right? It really depends on month to month. But we're going to go over some things to keep in mind when you're running your free group, when you're setting it up, some tips to help you along and build some momentum for you. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. All right. So I hope you can see this. Okay, so Challenge Groups 101. Big thing, so a few things to remember when you're running your groups. You really want to run your challenge groups based on what you yourself would have wanted and what you needed when you first started. So think back when you first joined your first challenge group. What was it that you were searching for? What were you Googling? What were you looking up on the internet? What were you looking up on Pinterest? What was it that you yourself needed help with? That's the biggest thing, because as you grow as a coach, you're going to attract more people just like you. So that means they're struggling with the same things that you used to struggle with, right? So that's what you want to center your group around, okay? So that's your first step. What is it that you would have wanted to see? So the key to your challenge groups, and it doesn't matter what challenge group you're running, if it's a free group or a paid group or whatever it is, the key to these challenge groups is always going to be you. Always. Always, it's going to come back to you. You have to show up. You have to. You can't just dump people in a group, maybe randomly schedule a post or post once in a while and expect them to stay consistent, get results, and do what they need to do. It doesn't work like that. We have to show up every single day. So always remember this part. And this goes towards your challengers and it goes towards coaches on your team. If you're giving 100%, your challengers or coaches will only give maybe about 80%. So if you're only given 80%, that means your challengers are only given about 40%, right? So it all comes back to you. If you're rocking it and giving it, you're pouring your heart into it, giving it 120%, then your challengers are going to meet you and be about around that 90% mark, right? They'll never be 100% like you are. And if they are, then you better sign them up as a coach. But whatever you're giving in your level of commitment is what your challengers are never going to meet you, right? They're always going to be a little bit behind you, okay? So remember that. How you show up in your group is what the overall theme is. So if you're lacking engagement, maybe it's because you're not engaging, right? If you have people that are like falling off or not really posting, maybe it's because you're not posting, right? You're the leader. You have to lead. They will follow. Okay, which leads me to my next point. You got to lead the way. So you can't be asking your challengers to do something if you're not willing to do it yourself, right? If you want them to post, you've got to be posted, right? If you're, talking about your meal plan and meal prepping and stuff, and that's what you want them to be doing, you've got to be showing them the way. You've got to lead the way, okay? All right, so lead by example. So challenge group resources. We have so many resources out there at the end of our fingertips. Like, it's just unreal how much it is. So your challenge groups over time are going to develop into you. It's going to be your voice, your flair, your personality in that challenge group. That's what makes it a great challenge group, because that's what people are there for. They're there for you, right? They're not there for your uplines, copy and paste. They're not there for that, right? So if they're not engaged, if you're copy and pasting something and they're not engaging with it, that means they're not connecting with it. So you got to switch it up. So in the TNT, in our main team page, under the FitBoss Drive, there are challenge group guides, which are daily posts. So there's sample there. Brooke has samples of hers. She's got 4 or 5 other coaches in there, samples of their daily posts, what they post daily. I would highly, highly, highly recommend, if you're going to use those as a guide, which we all have, all of us have. When I first started, I just copy and pasted everything because I didn't know what else to do, right? When you first get started and starting to get your, get some momentum and get your feet under you, you can copy and paste it, but make sure you read it over and really maybe take some words out or change some things around so it sounds like you. So it sounds like something you would say, right? Because if you randomly throw a post in there that doesn't sound like anything you posted before, people are going to know it's not you. They're going to know it's not authentic to you, which is why they probably don't comment on it, right? In the back office. So in your back office, there is under, there's materials under there. They've got daily guide posts for every single program is in there. They've got tons of Shakeology posts that you could be making about Shakeology. They've got every single program listed and all the learning, what you can learn about them so you know how to recommend programs. Like, it's all there for you. Everything. It's all done for you. Like the posting guides have pictures, has a little, a post. Some of those posts are super salesy. I'm not going to lie. I don't post them all the time, but they give you a foundation to put your own words in there, right? It at least gives you a start to add your own words. So as you get doing these groups and over time, all of this stuff comes natural over time. But when you first start, you're probably going to want to copy and paste. That's okay, but add some of your own words in there. And then start a document and start saving those daily posts so that you then have something to build on for your next group. And as you learn from each group, you're going to change up those posts to what you need them to be, right? You want to have at least kind of one set post a day, and then the rest should be about your own, your own workouts and what you're eating and things like that, just off the cuff kind of thing. So the key to posting, one big key is posting 2 times a week about Shakeology. In these groups, this gives you the benefit of educating all our customers on what Shakeology is and the benefits of it. And not just Shakeology. Hey, look, I had my healthy dose today. Stop doing that. Nobody gives a shit, right? I'm telling you. Stop with the Shakeology selfies, okay? People want to know what's in it for them. So find an ingredient that's in Shakeology. Go Google that ingredient. Find out the benefits of that ingredient and then make a post about that. Hey, has anyone noticed, it's been a week now, has anyone noticed that they're sleeping better at night? Has anyone noticed that their skin is cleared up? Has anyone noticed that their joints aren't as stiff anymore? That's because of insert ingredient and the benefits of it, right? So you educate them on why they're drinking this, which is why they're feeling the way they do, which then they're like, holy crap, this is why I'm drinking this, right? It's not about Shakeology. It's not about nutrient dense. It's not about the best meal of the day. It's about what's in it and how it makes them feel. Did you guys know that there's a probiotic that's in Shakeology? I can't pronounce the name. I really, really wish I could. It's called Bacillus or something like that. It's the only probiotic in the world in Shakeology that you can ingest, and it actually will go straight through your stomach acid and actually get into your intestines to help you get a healthy gut and help things flow regularly. No other probiotic in the world does that. Not even the Greek yogurts or the stuff that's on the shelf, that Activia stuff that's on the shelf in the grocery store does not do that. Once it goes into your body, Your stomach acid will eat it up and it does nothing for your body. Only Shakeology has that probiotic that actually gets into your intestine. So, I mean, that's pretty impressive, but people don't know that. So we need to educate them on those things. You know, posting things like going to the Shakeology has Darren Orlean has these really great podcasts on Shakeology. Maybe if you find one, you could share one of the podcasts in there, right? Like, you don't want to be overdoing it, but a couple of times a week, you want to let them know, hey, listen, this is why I want you to drink this. This is why, you know, I'm so passionate about this. Like, it's helped me so much get off my medications. Like, this is why, right? It's not about, no, it's not a protein shake. It's not about that. We need to educate them why it's not that. Okay. So like I said, take an ingredient. There's so many ingredients in there. Take an ingredient and go Google it and find out what it is. Find out, you know, the stuff with the best bang for the buck kind of thing. Pinterest. Pinterest is huge, right? Go find some motivational quotes. Maybe start every morning. Maybe you start every morning off with a motivational quote to the group, something that you found that motivates you. You post that quote in there with a little write-up about it. Or maybe you've read something in your personal development this morning that really, really resonated with you. Share that personal development in the group, right? Everyone, your challengers that are in that group need personal development more than they need anything else. They need personal development, just like us. Think how much personal development has done for us. That's what it'll do for your challengers, and that's what you want, right? So Google inspirational quotes. Look for clean eating recipes, right? All you have to do is go to the search bar and search 21-day fix recipes, and boom, all these recipes come up. Search a bunch of recipes. Give them crock pot recipes. Give them, you know, dessert recipes. How about every Friday night you give them a clean eating alcoholic drink recipe, right? If that's what you guys like in your group, right? Like, you know, every Friday night, give them something like that to try for the weekend, right? People love that kind of stuff. Maybe you give them recipes that are for like nachos, a healthy, clean eating nacho recipe on Friday nights that they can try for the weekend. Or on Saturday mornings, you give them like a family-friendly pancake recipe or something they can try with the family, right? Like, think of those type of ideas. Those are things that people love. That's what they're searching for. That's what they want, right? And also on Pinterest, you can find a bunch of different like daily challenges. So you can do 31-day photo contests, you know, squat challenges. You can find any type of challenge on Pinterest, or even just Google it. You can find all that kind of stuff. Lately, I've been looking up ones that are engaging questions to ask. So I was on a call last week and they made a point, a really good suggestion is look up life questions, right? Engaging life questions, and be randomly asking those questions to your challengers, because it makes them think about their life. Like, what do they want out of life? What was one of their best memories about life? If money wasn't an object, what would they be doing? Like, you want to know all those things so that when you eventually invite them to the coaching opportunity, then you know about them. You know what they're kind of struggling with right now, right? Like where they're at right now. You know all those things because you've been asking in the group, right? Okay. So a few tips for engagement. Weekly contests for prizes. So you can do, look, people will do anything for a water bottle, like seriously, right? So weekly, you can do weekly prizes, or you can do like a full group prize. I find that weekly prizes do better because people can stay engaged for that week, and you want them to stay engaged for that week, because the first week, everyone's normally engaged. But I would, if I was running a group, the first week I wouldn't do a contest, but in week 2, I would definitely do a contest, because that's when people start falling off. In week 3, you want to do a banging contest in week 3, because that's when everybody starts to fall off, right? Week 3 is when they all start to. So that's the whole point of a contest. Week 2, week 3, it keeps them engaged in the group, right? You can do water bottles. You can do like samples of Energize kind of thing. You could do a Fixate cookbook. You could go to, I don't know, I can't remember the name of those stores in the mall, but you can go and get like headbands and stuff. You know what I mean? Like there's all kinds of those little things. You can give them gift cards to Amazon or something, anything like that. And ask questions. So like I said, look up engaging questions, things about life, everyday stuff. So things that you're struggling with. The thing about in our challenge groups is we want to be real. Like we want to be realer than real in our group. So if we're struggling today and we didn't get our workout in, we need to post that. We need to talk about it because our challengers need to know it's okay. Life happens. You're not perfect either, right? Like we're not perfect and it's okay not to be perfect. Our challengers need to know that. They need to know that you just went through the McDonald's drive-thru. If you did, fess up to it. Because if you fess up to it and you're telling them all about those parts that you struggle with, then it makes them comfortable so that they start posting about theirs, right? You want to be able to help them. You want to know that it's okay. So all of those things that you want to, yeah, that's all I have to say about that. So being encouraging the behaviors. So whatever behavior they're doing, so if they're commenting on a lot of people's stuff, you want to be rewarding them for that. If they are posting all their after workout selfies, you want to be rewarding them for that. And a reward for that is simply giving them a shout out. Hey, look at that. Christina rocked 5 out of 5 workouts this week. Challenger of the week. Whoop, whoop. Right? Like people love that stuff. Right? People love being recognized. It's the little things, right? Do little challenger spotlights. So whatever you're doing in these groups it's definitely a private group. You want to keep it, you want to keep that community tight in there, right? But you want to take moments of that and highlight it on your own personal Facebook page because normal everyday people have no idea what a challenge group is. When you say a challenge group, they hear the word challenge, they think it's hard, they don't want to hear about it, right? You need to break it down on what you're doing. You know, hey, we're having fun little contests and blah, 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 won this week, right? You know, so-and-so rocked her workouts this week. She did 5 out of 5. I'm giving her a little shout out, right? You know, those things there are, if people are not willing to post on their own page, but they'll let you do that on your page, that's a good thing, right? I just had that this week, right? So you want to just be rewarding them for those things. That's our fourth vital behavior, right? Recognize. So making sure you're noticing all these things, because when you notice the little things, that makes them feel good, and then they'll keep doing those things. And then they'll start to step up and encourage other people when they're struggling with the same thing they were just struggling with. They'll reach out and start helping them. And that all leads to coaching behaviors that we want to be encouraging naturally, right? So setting up and running your challenge group. Everyone may have different philosophies on this. Everybody may do it differently. I'm going to tell you what I do, and then you can go do whatever you want to do, okay? But this is how I do it. So setting up and running your challenge group, the first thing you want to do is know that this is your group. So when you set up the group, it's your group. It means you can do whatever you want in your group, right? If you want to post selfies all day long, go for it. If you want to post inspirational quotes, whatever you want to post in your group is up to you, right? But like I said at the beginning, base it off of what you would have wanted when you first started, okay? So pick a date when you're going to open up your challenge group. Maybe it's the same date every single month so that you know. So that you know if you're talking to someone right now, like I was just talking to someone right now and they're like, when's your next group in October, right? And it's like, I can look at the calendar and tell them specifically when it's going to happen because mine happened the same time every month. So I know in December, I know when they're going to happen, right? So I can tell them, so I can prepare them for that. have a prep week. So there's different things here. You can have, I have a welcome email that I send to people as soon as they sign up. I have a welcome email. So it lets them work on a couple of things before I get started, before we do get started. Because if my groups don't happen till the end of the month, so if someone was to sign up today, they would still have 2 weeks to wait before my group opened up, right? So I would want to make sure I send them a welcome email and walk them through a couple things. You know, hey, have you logged into your Beachbody On Demand? This is how it works. A little video on how it works. You know, hey, have you, done your before and afters and filled out your profile on Beachbody On Demand with your before pictures and all that kind of stuff. You know, here's the customer service phone number if you need them. Like just a few little things that they can be working on, right? You know, a little video about the meal prepping, how I meal prep and stuff, so that they can start to watch those things and have something to look at while they're waiting for their package to come in. So a prep week. So the same prep week happens all the time. So I do these in video form. Some people just create a post and do a post on them. I find if you're doing video in your groups, it really gives your challengers a chance to really connect with you, right? And really feel your energy. And you can also use Zoom and be able to, walk them through the on-demand stuff and all that kind of jazz too. So you have to remember, they don't know what you know, right? So when you're talking to them, you have to always be talking to them in layman's terms, right? Like they don't know what any of this stuff means. They don't know what BOD means. They don't know all that stuff, right? You got to talk to them in normal terms and then show them what you mean because they don't know. So prep week would look like this. On day 1, you would do a video introduction of yourself. Tell a little bit about your story, how you came to be there, where you're at in your journey right now. Just a few introductions, right? Welcome them to the group, things like that. Encourage them to do an introduction back, whether it be in video form, if that's what you want. Maybe you could be like, for everyone who does a video introduction in the group, I will enter you into a draw for a water bottle kind of thing, right? Encourage them to introduce themselves as well so that everybody gets to know each other. Day 2, you want to write down your goals. So write down your why. So make them write down their why. Make them write it down. Why they're doing this. Why they're going to commit for the next 30 days. What are they going to commit to? I always make them give me 3 goals that they want to accomplish over the next 30 days. Realistic goals. Like, is it you want to lose 5 pounds? Do you want to make sure that you follow your meal plan 80% of the time? Are you looking to put on a pair of jeans that you haven't worn in a year's time and then be loose, right? Like, what are those 3 specific goals? Write them down and then make them stick it on the refrigerator so it's in front of their face the whole time, right? Like, this is why you're doing this. Put it on the bathroom mirror, on the fridge, whatever, right? That's what I tell people. And I always, always, always tell them my expectations of them. Because they don't know that they have to post every day. They don't know they should post about their meals. They don't know when they come into these groups. You have to tell them. You have to set the expectation. Let them know that your coaching happens in the group, right? So if they're not posting in the group, if they're not posting their meals in the group, and then they're struggling with something, you're not going to know because they're not showing up in the group. That's where their accountability happens. That's where everything happens, is in the group. So you want to be encouraging them to always be posting in the group, right? There's always going to be some people that are not comfortable with posting in the group, and that's totally fine. I would say that to them. Like, listen, if you're really not comfortable posting in the group, I at least expect you to, send me a message to let me know how it's going, or that I'm going to be checking in with you. So I want to know, right? Like, I always set that expectation that, hey, I'm going to be checking on you. If you haven't posted in the group in 3 days, I'm going to be sending you a message wondering where you're at, right? Like, you've got to tell them those things so that they know, right? Day 3, before and after photos. So you want to just run them through before and after photos. Talk about how I refer to them as goodbye pictures because it's the last time they're ever going to look like that, right? Like, make a point. I don't know how many people in my groups right now have told me, oh my God, Colleen, I wish I had done my before picture like you told me to. And I'm like, I know, I told you many, many times. Do that before picture. You're going to want it. And explain why, right? Like, tell them, explain, you can't focus on the scale, right? That scale's not going to ever tell you a number that you're going to be happy with. Don't focus on that. It's all about your pictures and your measurements. That's what you want to focus on. I would also put in links, a link to the how to take pictures video and how to take measurements video. I would put those links in there so that they know that on that day. Day 4, do a video about cheating. Everyone's going to do it. Don't be scared to post about it. Everybody cheats, right? The more you make things normal in this and it's less intimidating, the more they're likely to actually share those things with you, right? Day 5, Shakeology. Talk about Shakeology or post a video about it. I have a really good video that I always post about Shakeology that explains a little bit more about the ingredients that are in it and what they do for the body. And then day 6, a video about meal prep. I always do a little video and walk them through how I create my meal plan and then, post a simple meal plan for them. So really walk them through that week and make sure that come that first weekend, they've looked over their meal plans. They've started creating meal plans. I would give them an assignment. On day 6, I would give them an assignment to do up their meal plan and post it in the group so I can see their meal plan. I want to see their meal plan, right? Same as day 5, your Shakeology. I would, after the video, I would post like 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, make a little folder of Shakeology recipes, right? And even be sharing food recipes for Shakeology, like protein bars, brownies, ice cream, cakes, all those ones. Because if someone doesn't drink shakes, then it's like, okay, great. Well, do you like ice cream? Do you like pudding? Okay, great. Then, you're still okay with Shakeology then, because you can make all that stuff with it, right? You don't have to drink it. You don't have to drink it. That's what everyone gets hung up on. You don't have to just drink Shakeology. You can eat it too, right? Don't let people away with those excuses. Again, so set your expectations. Tell them what you expect. Explain about posting. Talk about the accountability. Talk about their why. And tell them what they can expect from you. That's important too. Not only are you expect from them, but what they can expect from you. You're going to do weekly check-ins with them. So every Monday, right after the weekend, you're going to check in with them. You want to know how they're doing, right? Where they're at. Are they ready for the next week? Do they have their meal plan ready? Post your meal plan, right? I make a point to post my meal plan every week so that they get in the habit of posting theirs as well, right? Follow up with each person. So the first time you do, so I got 10 minutes. So, all right. Remember, if we get kicked off, same link, come back in. So follow up with each person a couple of times a week. So when this is their very first 30 days, you really want to make sure you're giving them maximum support here. So every couple of days, like not every couple of days, but like 2 times a week, follow up with them. Make sure how they're doing. Are they drinking their Shakeology? Are they following their meal plan? Are they struggling with anything in particular that you can help them with, kind of thing, right? So just be checking in with them. It keeps them on track as well. And again, recognize all their accomplishments along the way. So when you check in with them and they give you some they're like, oh my God, I went down a belt, my belt went down a belt loop this weekend. I'm super excited about it, or whatever happened. Celebrate that, right? Like celebrate that with them. We're probably going to get kicked out, but so key things in a challenge group. Always be watching out for coach-like behaviors and be encouraging those, right? Our best coaches are always going to come from our challenge group. So make sure you really dig in and learn how to run great challenge groups. Okay? People want to be part of that. That's what they talk about. That's what they recommend to their friends. That's what they're talking about to their friends. So that's how you start getting referrals. Oh, I heard about this really great group that you run, right? And another great resource, this is what I did. I went over to YouTube, went up to the search bar and typed in how to run challenge groups. About 50 different coaches have videos out there on how to run great challenge groups, exciting challenge groups, engaging challenge groups, whatever, kick-ass challenge groups. They're all out there. Everyone has a different flair. I do my thing. I've taken what they've compiled and I've just started doing my own thing, right? And that's what'll happen with you over time. So the 4 key things are retention. This is the whole point of these challenge groups, is retention. So talking about Shakeology so people understand what it's all about so that they stay on Shakeology longer. The average customer only stays on Shakeology about 2 months, maybe 3 months, but it's normally 1 to 2 months, right? So you want it, the more you educate them on Shakeology and the benefits of it, the longer they're likely to stay on Shakeology, which means, the longer you have your residual income for. Results. You want to make sure you're getting these guys results, right? That's why we're checking in with them quite a bit. When they do give you results, their before and afters in that, or they post little things about, benefit that they noticed of Shakeology or whatever, take screenshots, take before and afters, create a folder for yourself and start saving all those things in that folder so that you can start doing your own Transformation Tuesdays with your own customers, right? That builds credibility in your business. The rapport that you're going to get with your customers, the more that you stay with them in those groups. And referrals. Referrals are huge, right? The more fun your groups are, the more they're going to be likely to refer other people to your groups. And challenger to coach. So I'm probably going to run out of time, so we may have to come back in here because I feel like I'm talking really, really fast. So you're doing really, really well in your challenge group. You're coming down to the end of those 30 days or 21 days, whatever length of time you do your groups. I do 30 days just because once you have that prep week in there, it becomes 30 days. Now you're going to transition your challenger into a coach, right? So all along the way, you want to make sure that you're checking in with them. You're doing those Monday check-ins. You're checking in with them during the week, right? You're making sure that you're helping them stay on track to get those results. So on about week 3, any of those challengers that you see that are really killing it in the group, right? You're going to want to send them a message, right? You're going to send them a message like, hey, Sarah, you've been killing it in this group. I'm so proud of you. It's been a pleasure having you in the group. And honestly, I was thinking about you last night. Have you ever considered doing what I do? Side note, sending that in a voice message is way better than sending just a written out message, right? Because they can hear your voice and your enthusiasm. Wait for the response. See what they say. Normally they're going to say they're flattered, flattered that you thought of them, but oh my God, I could never do what you do kind of thing, right? So when we send out these messages, it's really all about planting that seed. So there's a lot of people, coaches on my team, that I've planted this seed and then ask them again the following month, ask them again the following month. And then finally they were like, okay, I want to know more about this, right? So there's no pressure here. We're not pressuring anybody, nothing. It's just simply putting that little bug in their ear, right? So that then once you do that, then they really start paying attention to what you're doing. And then they start watching you. And then they start thinking, I could do what she does, right? So you want to just plant that seed with them. So then depending on what they are going to say, if they say yes, or, I have started thinking about it, then you're going to invite them to a coaching opportunity. As simple as that. Invite them to learn more, right? If they're unsure, which most people are, you could say something like, Sarah, I totally felt the same way when my coach asked me, I was so busy with the kids or whatever you're doing, so busy with the kids that I just figured I had no time. But honestly, you're already doing 90% of what I do anyway. And I'd love someone as hardworking as you on my team. We're having an information session on August 16th. It'll be about an hour long. I'd love for you to come and at least learn what it's all about first. Would you be interested? Who's going to say no to that? You just flattered them and invited them just to learn more. There's no pressure there, right? You just were like, hey, I'd love to have you as part of my team. I think you're wicked. And I want you to come learn more about this before you make a decision. Okay, right? Nothing wrong with that. All right, so challenger groups. Oh my God, I got 3.5 minutes. I'm doing this. Okay, challenger groups. So each month, I always run one 30-day group. So this is kind of like my fundamentals group. Like this is it. If you were to join me for the very first time, you're going to come in this separate little group, this separate group of my 30-day group. And that's the group that I'm going to fill your boots with, right? Like that's it. That's the one. So give it a specific name, specific to what you're doing. Like name your group, make it specific, right? Then I have an ongoing group. So when my very, very first time challengers finish that 30-day group, they're like, now what? Now what do I do? I just stop? No, you come over into my ongoing group where all of my customers are, and you keep going in there, right? So they graduate into the main group. I would make a video in about week 3, week 4, probably in week 4, and let them know, hey, here's the next step. The next step is I'm going to do another 30-day group just like this, where we all do in our fitness program, Shakeology, just like this one. If you want to join me, come join me, right? If not, if you kind of want to take a break and then start again, I have my ongoing group that you can certainly join there. No pressure. You can join either one, right? But I would always put them in my ongoing group so that you never lose your customers, right? So you have a flow, right? It's creating a little flow. You sign up your challenger, they come into your first 30-day group, which is where you wow them in there. That's where you give them you want to give them all the love in that group, because you want to, when someone's looking into that or in your free group, they're going to be like, well, what's the incentive for me paying you to get into that group, right? Why would I pay to get into that group? Because when you come into this group, I'm going to knock your socks off. Like, you're not going to know what hit you. Like, you want all the value in that group. That's the incentive, right? Then you graduate over into your ongoing group. So another tip, something else I just learned, is about starting a little chat, a little thread message for your challengers. So, if you've got 10, 15 challengers in your group or more, they're starting for the very first time, maybe put them in a little thread message together. That way they always have someone to talk to all the time, right? Like, they can always just pop in there. You can keep tabs on them. Like, you probably don't even have to be in there. They'll just start talking with each other, start encouraging each other, and start supporting each other in that little message thread, right? They might be more comfortable posting in a message thread as opposed to posting in the actual Facebook group. They could be like, dude, I'm like sitting in the McDonald's parking lot right now, like, talk me out of this. And there'll be someone that'll answer that message, as opposed to if they posted on Facebook and they got, an hour later, someone answers them, kind of thing. Okay. Oh my God, I'm on the last slide. I'm going to get kicked out of here. Oh my God. I gotta take a break for a second. Take a drink of water. I'm talking way too much. Okay. So, my final thoughts. Challenge groups are where it happens, right? This is it. That's where the magic happens, is in these challenge groups. This is where you're going to shine.